Tribhuvana Tatma Bhavana Trivikrama Trinayana Triloka Manohara Nubhava Taveva Vibhutayo Dittija Danuchadayaschapi Tesham Upakramasa Mayoyam iti sva Tma Mayaya Sura Naramriga Mishrita Jalachara Kritibir Yatapara Dam 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 Dandara Dadartha Evam Enam Api Bhagavan Jahi Tvastram Uta Jadi Manyase. So we are in the chapter called The Appearance of the Demon Vritasura, and there was this big demon that has appeared, and the demigod approached the Lord to ask for help. So they are actually praying to the Supreme Lord. So this is a beautiful prayer. They are addressing to the Lord, O personified three worlds, Father of the three worlds, O strength of the three worlds, in the form of the Vamana incarnation, O three-eyed form of Nishingadev, O most beautiful person within the three worlds. Everything and everyone, including human beings and even the Daityas, demons and the Danavas, is but an expansion of your energy. O supremely powerful one, you have always appeared in your form as the various incarnations to punish the demons as soon as they become very powerful. You appeared as Lord Vamanadev, Lord Ram, and Lord Krishna. You appear sometimes as an animal like the boar, sometimes a mixed incarnation like Lord Nishingadev and Lord Hayagriva, and sometimes aquatic like Lord Fish and Lord Tortoise. Assuming such various forms, you have always punished the demons and Danavas. We therefore pray that your Lordship appear today as another incarnation of your if you so desire to kill the great demon Vritasura. Purport. There are two kinds of devotees known as Sakama and Akama. Pure devotees are Akama, whereas devotees in the upper planetary system, such as the demigods, are called Sakama, because they still want to enjoy material opulence. Because of their pious activities, the Sakama devotees are promoted to the higher planetary system, but at heart, they still desire to lord it over the material resources. The Sakama devotees are sometimes disturbed by the demons and Rakshasas, but the Lord is so kind that He always saves them by appearing as an incarnation. The Lord's incarnations are so powerful that Lord Vamanadev covered the entire universe with 2 steps and therefore had no place for his 3rd step. The Lord is called Trivikrama because he showed his strength by delivering the entire universe with merely 3 steps. The difference between Sakama and Akama devotee is that when Sakama devotee, like the demigods, fall into difficulty, they approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead for relief, whereas Akama devotee, even in great danger, never disturb the Lord for material benefit. Even if an Akama devotee is suffering, he thinks this is due to his past impious activity and agrees to suffer the consequence. He never disturbed the Lord. Sakama devotees immediately pray to the Lord as soon as they are in difficulty, but they are regarded as pious because they consider themselves fully dependent on the mercy of the Lord. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.8, Tatenu kampam susumik shamano pujana evatma kritam vipakam Ritvak Vapurvir Vitanam Namaste Jivetayo Bhakti Pade Sadaya Bhak. Even while suffering in the midst of difficulties, devotees simply offer their prayer and service more enthusiastically. In this way, they become firmly fixed in devotional service and eligible to return home back to Godhead without doubt. Sakama devotee, of course, achieve from the Lord the result they desire from their prayers, but they do not immediately become fit to return to Godhead. It is noted herein that Lord Vishnu in his various incarnations is always the protector of his devotees. Srila Madhvacharya says, Vividam bhava pratratvat sarve Vishnur vibhutaya. Krishna is the original person of Godhead. Krishna Tusva Bhagavan Swayam, and all other incarnations proceed from Lord Vishnu. So the verse again, glorification of the demigods. O Lord, O personified three worlds, Father of the three worlds, O strength of the three worlds, in the form of the Vamana incarnation, O strength of the three worlds in the form of the Vamana incarnation, O three-eyed form of Nishingadev, O most beautiful person within the three worlds. Everything and everyone, including human beings, and even the deities, demon and the Danavas, is but an expansion of your energy. O Supreme Powerful One, you have always appeared in your form as the various incarnations to punish the demons as soon as they become very powerful. You appear as Lord Vamanadev, Lord Ram, and Lord Krishna. You appear sometimes as an animal like boar, sometimes a mixed incarnation like Lord Nishingadev and Lord Hayagriva, and sometimes an aquatic like Lord Fish and Lord Tortoise. Assuming such various forms, you have always punished the demon and Danavas. We therefore pray that your Lordship appear today as another incarnation, if you so desire, to kill the great demon Vritasura. If you like, you can sing with me. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam E Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshvari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayatam Surato Pangor Mahmamanda Matergati Matsarvasva Padambujo Radha Madana Mohano Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Panchakalpa tarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, but my spiritual master, with the torchlight of knowledge, has opened my eyes. Therefore I offer him my most respectful obeisances. So we continue with the glorification of the Lord by the demigods. So they are there, they are glorifying the Lord, but inside they have a request, they have a wish. They don't come only to glorify the Lord, they have also their agenda, and there is this big demon Vritasura that is there, and they need relief from him, they need actually help. But still they offer very beautiful prayers And they mention how the Lord has appeared in many different avatars to actually protect the earth and protect the demigods. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada used the opportunity to speak of two different types of devotees, the Akama devotees and the Sakama devotees. And that means the one who has desire, material desire, and the one who has no material desire. So we will a little bit take on this today in the lecture, on those different type of devotees, Akama and Sakama devotees. We will first hear of those three different types. Actually, here Prabhupada speaks Akama and Sakama, but there is a very well-known verse that speaks also of the Moksha Kama, those who have desire for liberation. So we will speak a little bit of those three types of devotees having different type of desires, and we will see what means no desire, to have no desire, what does it mean, and we will see after how to transform material desire into spiritual desire, how to mature our desire so that we increase our spiritual desires. So Prabhupada gave in the purport a lot of details of those different type of devotees. What do they think? How do they desire? How do they behave? So when he speaks of the Sakama devotee, which is the devotees who have material desire, he explained that they, even though he speaks of the demigods actually as Sakama devotees, they have their agenda. They like to lord it over material nature. They like to control things. And when demons come, they get disturbed. And then immediately they go to the Lord, please help. They are very pious and still they depend on the Lord. So in that sense, they are actually quite elevated. They are not like normal karmis who depend on their own strengths, but they understand. They want to depend on the Lord. They understand they don't have much capacity to do it on their own. So in that sense, it's actually already quite of a step. So they are pious and they are turning toward the Lord. So they get their desire fulfilled, but they are not going back to Godhead immediately. So they're going back to Godhead is delayed. And I researched a little bit about Sakama devotees, and it is explained that there are 4 different types of Sakama devotees. Anyone could imagine what could be the 4 types of Sakama devotees? And maybe not easy to find out, but makes sense. It's actually quoted in Bhagavad Gita. Those who come close to the Lord out of curiosity, those who approach the Lord because of wealth, they want wealth, those who approach the Lord because they are suffering, and those who have a desire to know the truth. So those are the 4 different types of Sakama devotees. And then Prabhupada speaks of the Akama devotee, the one without material desires. So those are the pure devotees. They never call the Lord for their own protection. They see all that is happening as the arrangement of the Lord, and they agree to suffer the consequence of their past karma. And here I was remembering just now as I was reading of Ambarish Maharaj, there was Durvasa Muni who was very angry at him. He took a piece of his hair, he threw it on the ground, and then a huge demon came. And what was the reaction of Ambarish? Nothing. Just folded his hands. He did not ask for protection. He said, my dear Lord, if you want me to die now, okay, I will die now. If you want to protect me, you will protect me. So that's like a very good example of the Akama devotee. And the Akama devotee understand whatever is happening is due to my previous activities. I deserve. All what is happening is something that I deserve. So he actually remained cool, and he don't even approach the Lord for protection, which is actually quite of a high level. And then we have the Moksha Kama devotee who has actually desire for liberation. Now, I remember a few, actually it was this year in the Sanghamela, we had a lecture, online lecture from Sutapa Prabhu from London, who was speaking of this particular verse, speaking of the Akama, Sakama, and Mokshakama. And he was giving a very nice table because they are more or less connected to the Sakama is like Karma Yogi, the Akama is the Bhakti Yogi, and the Jnana Yogi is like the Moksha Kama, like for liberation. I don't know if it's easy to explain. He had like a nice table like this, so I'm not sure how I speak, how easy it's to catch it. But he speaks of those three types of devotee, basically Karmi, Jnani, and Bhakti Yogi, and he explained the difference in different, their vision, their goal, their mood, the path they follow, and the result. What do they achieve out of what they are doing? So if we see the vision, and that's actually very, very beautiful, the vision of a karma yogi, he look at the world with desire to enjoy the world. The jnana yogi, he look at the world, he look away from the world. He do not want to look at the world. And the bhakti yogi is looking beyond the world. No, so Karma Yogi look at the world, Jnana Yogi looks somewhere else, and Bhakti Yogi he looks beyond this world. And what is the goal? The goal of the Karma Yogi, he wants to enjoy. The goal of the Jnana Yogi, he wants to escape. And the goal of the Bhakti Yogi, he wants to utilize material nature for the pleasure of the Lord. I was recently having the chance to meet with my spiritual master, and I was in a period where I was thinking, yeah, let's go back to God. At what's good here in this world anyway. Nothing will really work, despite all our efforts. Nothing is really working, and I was in this mood. And then my Gurmaj said, yeah, that's close to the Jnana Yogi perspective. He actually doesn't want to do anything with this world. He wants to renounce, to go away from this world. But the Bhakti Yogi, he sees this world as an arati plate. He sees this world as a way to worship the Lord. And then I say, okay, let's go back to Bhakti vision and to take all opportunity to use this world as a yagya, as a worship of the Lord. Now the mood of the karma yogi is very much attached. The mood of the jnana is very much detached. And the mood of the bhakti yogi is a mood of engagement. Again, he will use everything in the service of the Lord. And the result, the karma yogi gets frustrated, the jnana yogi gets some peace, and the bhakti yogi gets real happiness. So that was a little about those three types of devotee, akama, sakama, and mokshakama devotees. Now, what means no desire? Because that's sometimes not so well understood by many people. For us, it's usually quite clear. But no desire means no material desires. That means we still have desire. And that's in a lecture Prabhupada said, actually here I have the quote, he said, you cannot stop desire. You cannot stop. This is not possible. But purify the desire. Purify desire means that the same hope against hope, just to improve your position as a devotee. So the desire is we want to become better and better devotees. That will help you to make your life successful. Thank you very much. It was the end of a lecture of Prabhupada. There are a few other quotes that what means this no desire. Maybe I will read only. Actually, both of them are nice. Maybe I read both of them. One is Srimad Bhagavatam 3, 21, 24. Even if he has some desire, one engaged in the service of the Lord is never frustrated. Those engaged in the service are called sakama and akama. Those who approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead with desire for material enjoyment are called sakama, and those devotees who have no material desire for sense gratification, but serve the Supreme Lord out of spontaneous love for Him, are called akama. So that shows the akama, he has no material desire, but he has desire to serve the Lord and to please the Lord. And then the next quote is 2.10.3. Actually, this is the purport of this famous verse, akama, akama, sakama, karmuva, or something like this. I will quote it a little bit later, but this comes actually from this purport of this verse. Akama is one who has no material desire. A living being naturally being the part and parcel of the Supreme Whole, Purusham Purnam, has as its natural function to serve the Supreme Being, just as the part and parcel of the body or the limbs of the body are naturally meant to serve the complete body. Desireless means, therefore, not to be inert like a stone, but to be conscious of one's actual position, and thus desire satisfaction only for the Supreme Lord. So that means desirelessness doesn't mean we want to become like a stone and we have no desire, means that our desire gets transformed for the pleasure of the Lord. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this desirelessness as Bhajaniya Paramapurusha Sukha Matrasva Sukhatvam in his Sandarbha. This means that one should feel happy only by experiencing the happiness of the Supreme Lord. Maybe I could ask, maybe Paul, would you mind to just go and to open the window big so we get like good, open like big so we get some fresh oxygen. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gave a very interesting explanation of the akama. He said that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna say, of all the letters, I am the letter A. So akama means Krishna kama, because A is the letter A, which is Krishna. So akama means desire for Krishna. Krishna's desire for Krishna, akama. And we can see actually a lot of our pure devotees or akama devotees, they still have desires. And we see, for example, in their prayers, or like, for example, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wrote the Govardhan Astakam. And at the end of every line, he says, Govardhano me dishatam abhishtam. O Giriraj, please fulfill my most inner desire. So that shows he is a pure devotee, but he has desire, a very special desire, very, very private, very, very secret desire that he asks the Lord to be fulfilled. And we have also Haridas Thakur, who is also a Kama devotee, pure devotee, and he is praying to the Lord. And it even seems to be a questioning mark, because it still seems he's asking for himself. In those desires, we could think the akama is totally selfless, just pleasure of the Lord. But here he's asking actually for the nectar of the holy name. O Lord, be merciful and appear on my tongue in your holy name. Dance there constantly, O Lord. I fall at your lotus feet and beg you. So he is asking for the nectar of the holy name. You may keep me in this world or take me in your abode as you please. But whatever you do with me, feed me with the divine nectar of your holy name. You descended into this world to distribute the holy name, so kindly also consider me as one of those you intended to bless. I am the most lowly, whereas you are committed to uplift the lowest. This is our eternal relationship. On the strength of this unbreakable connection between us, O Lord, I beg you to shower me with the nectar of your holy name. So, no desire, akama, doesn't mean like a stone, but means spiritual desire, desire connected to Krishna. And then at the end, we will hear a little bit about how to purify those desires, how to transform those desires, how to move from a sakama to an akama devotees. And there comes this beautiful verse. This is Bhagavatam 2.3.10, very, very often quoted. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yacheta purusham param. A person who has a broader intelligence, that's maybe us, hopefully. Huh? Whenever Prabhupada says, one intelligent person will do like this, everyone feels, oh, yeah, then that's how I should be. I want to be an intelligent person. So a person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of material desires, without any material desire or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the personality of Godhead. So he actually needs to do Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. He needs to do Bhakti Yoga, and Tivrena means intensely. Tivra means intense, full there, nothing else, full energy, full power into bhakti, into serving the Lord. And then it's for a person who is like this, then all his desire will be fulfilled. Even if he has material desire, spiritual desire, desire for liberation, no matter. That means no matter where you are, if you want your desire, no matter which desire you have, if you want your desire to be fulfilled, Bhakti Yoga, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. You have to do devotional service with full strength. So this is actually the solution, by devotional service. And there is another very, very nice quote, the end quote. And here I bring it back to the point I mentioned again before. Even if one is a sakama and has material desire, it's not so bad. Sometimes you might feel, okay, sakama are bad, the other one are good, the akama is good, the sakama is bad, is material desire. But actually, because he already approached the Lord to ask for fulfillment of his desire, he's actually in a very high level. So even if we have some material desire, it's not so bad, because we are approaching the Lord for fulfillment. We are depending on the Lord. We are actually breaking down the pattern that we are the doer and that we can do it on our own. We already understand I cannot do it on my own. I need the help of the Lord. So this is actually already a very nice stage. But obviously we want to move forward, and transform our desire to pure spiritual desires. So here it's very nice explanation. It comes in, that's a quote. Unfortunately, I did not write from which verse it comes, but I explain how we transform this desire by devotional service. One who is engaged in the service of the Lord with some motive is called a Sakama Bhakta, and one who serves the Lord without any motive is called an Akama Bhakta. Krishna is so merciful that he turns the Sakama Bhakta into a Akama Bhakta. So Krishna is so merciful, he will turn the Sakama Bhakta into Akama Bhakta. A pure devotee, an Akama Bhakta, who has no material motives, is satisfied simply to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 6.22. Yam latva chaparam labam manyate nadikam tata. If one engages in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, he does not want anything anymore. This is the higher stage of devotional service. The Lord is so kind that even to a Sakama Bhakta, a motivated devotee, that he satisfied his desire in such a way that one day he becomes an Akama Bhakta. So here we see we approach the Lord, serve the Lord, even if we have material desire, the Lord will transform us from Sakama to Akama, from a devotee who have material desire to a devotee who have spiritual desire. Do you know an example of famous devotee who was a Sakama devotee and was transformed into an Akama devotee? Yeah, exactly. Did you also thought of Dhruva? Yeah, he had the desire for a kingdom greater than his ancestors. But at the end, when the Lord appeared to him, he just thought, my God, why did I thought this? I just want to be with you. I just want to serve you. So this is the result of practicing devotional service. The desire will naturally transform it. my spiritual master will give an example of this transformation of desire. And he was saying it's like when we become mature. So he gave the example of a young boy who do not have much desire to be with girls. He might even think, oh, those girls, they play different games. We cannot wrestle with them. It's not so interesting. But later on, when he start to become mature, then a different interest develop into the opposite gender, and desire transform. He start to have different type of desires. So my spiritual master was giving this example as for us as devotees. As we go on the process of devotional service, we also should mature, and our desire should also transform. And then he will have a very strong sentence to his audience. He will say, don't remain a retarded devotee, someone who did not mature. You know, sometimes we can see some people who, or even though they grow in age, they always remain like children. We say something, I don't know in English, but in French we say they are retarded. So he was saying, don't remain like this in your devotional life. Don't always stay with just material desire. We have to mature as we go through the process, as the year pass. Our desire need to mature and become transformed into spiritual desires. He gave another powerful example of he said in Bengal there are some ponds, like small place of water, small lakes, ponds, like very, very small. And he said when it's before the monsoon, there is no water moving anymore in those ponds, and it smells very bad. It's rotting, actually, everything is rotting. But then when the monsoon comes, everything is flushed, everything is purified, everything becomes beautiful, and the smell is gone, and like this. So Maharaj will say we have actually to flood, we have inside of us so many material desires that are actually rotting, like those ponds, and we have to bring like a flow of spiritual desire. We have to flush away all those material desire by spiritual desire coming inside of us. So how do we increase our spiritual desires? Bhakti Yoga, that was the Tivrena Bhakti Yoga, that was one of the answers. And in the same line is association with devotees, reading in scriptures. All that will actually transform our desire and give us some other desire. You read prayer of the Acharyas, you will see what you will connect with their desires. And then your desire will transform just by being in contact with their desires. So that we have to, the process of bhakti, and especially association with devotees, that will transform those desires. And I will also say to be a little introspective. Where are my desires as we go through the day? What do I desire? Like what do I want? What is the fruit I want to enjoy out of my activities? So sometimes I notice our mind is just seems to be not so much influenced by desire, just wandering, like thought and thinking of this or thinking of that. But from time to time, desires come are awake. Like you might cross the prasadam room at 12:30 or 1 o'clock, and suddenly you have a desire to eat. You are just in the place and you, oh, what is there? And so you can see according to activity, or you have to do an activity and everyone looks at you, like suddenly say, okay, let's make a group photo. So, okay, then you will be a desire, oh, I hope I will look all right in the picture, and I hope people will see that I'm there on the picture. I mean, this innocent desire, but often are there in the background, and often we are actually not really aware of that. So that was, I thought, maybe one takeaway of this lecture, that maybe today we can introspect a little bit. What are the desire crossing through, and try to increase the spiritual desire by praying to the deities and connecting with the devotees, and doing like Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, doing like intense service with intensity. And that means actually with the proper desire. I want to please you, my Lord. I want to serve the devotees. I want so on and so forth. So that was for today. Prabhupada developed on those three types of There are two types mainly, the Sakama and the Akama devotee, the one who has material desire and the one who do not have material desire. And we are somewhere in between, but we want to increase, go more and more into the Akama level. And there is also this point that, like the Akama, he's not praying to the Lord, he's just accepting whatever is happening as the result of his activities. We were thinking of Ambarish Maharaj, who was just staying like this. And that, I think, actually something nice. We can still approach the Lord and pray to the Lord for strength to go through the difficulty. When we are into difficulty, we can pray to the Lord to go through, to get strength to go through. But it's very nice to learn to accept actually whatever it is happening as the result of our misdeed, and surrender to that and just pray for strength. Good. So we stop here. I don't know if you have some questions, some comments. Yes, Ivan.
Wouldn't it be that sometimes Krishna's plan is hiding behind our so-called material desires?
Mm-hmm. It can be that we have, let's say, some material desires, and we have to experience something in this world. So the Lord will allow us to go through that, because that's an experience that we need to do. Like, for example, I notice after when I left the service of temple president, I noticed that I had so much desire to control, and that the Lord was giving me this service so that I could purify this desire, and now I feel still is there, but much less, and I feel okay. Now I left. Now my next step in my life is to let go of most of the things the way they go. It goes like they go, and maybe little bit where I'm responsible, I control. But so it was like the fact that I had those desires, Krishna gave me the opportunity to purify them in such a way. But I think your question is little bit different, huh? Is that maybe our material desire are in the plan of the Lord? That was, huh?
No, actually it was kind of similar, because
Okay.
I was thinking, for me, with raising my children, I also have sometimes this wish to control, or maybe to put them in the right way.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And but I can also see, maybe it is because mother has to take care of the children. It's also good for the children. But I can see it's not, from my side, it's not pure desire. I only want good for them, but I also want to enjoy for myself, like that the children listen to me and do what I want from them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's quite okay. It's quite normal in that stage. But see, you can combine it so well, because I'm sure deep inside of your heart you would like your children to become good devotees. You would like. So this is not material desire. So it's spiritual desire. You want them to become devotees. You are most of all what you do, even if it's not conscious. But most of what you do, you would like them to become good devotees. So it's actually quite secure. Obviously, there is still some ego inside, and I told you that, now you have to follow. Why you don't? Some anger come because our desire for being respected or accepted is not fulfilled. So still some small thing are there, but the main thing, I think you are quite safe, because you want them to become good devotees. So it's quite all right, But it's good to see, it's good to check, okay, now I feel anger, but yeah, because my desire to be respected is not fulfilled. And okay, my Lord, you are organizing everything, you are also in their hearts, so I will take it as most probably I did not respect people in the past, and now people do not respect as well. So I take it with humility, and I know you love me, and you try to process it by some understanding of what is happening and just accepting and not getting angry and not going into the. But at the same time, you also need sometimes to get angry to children. Otherwise, it's not you don't serve them properly if you sometimes don't say, okay, it's here, it's the limit. Is that okay? Yeah. But it's good. It's very good to be introspective and check out what are the desires inside and purify them and turn them to Krishna and pray to Krishna, and slowly we transform them. Okay, Vajanti? Yeah. Yeah. I will even say that it's almost like synonyms: motivation, desire. Yeah. And there we boil down to the main aspect of devotional service, which is actually our motivation. What is the motivation to our activities? So what is our desire? I guess it's quite synonymous. I don't know what would you say, Nityamachari? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's very mixed up. We are on the way, as you said, between Sakam and Karma. And I was also thinking that just by practicing it's purified, motivation, sometimes not so clear. And if it's not so clear, it means it's not pure, I guess. But when I look back, I sometimes think it's amazing how Krishna took already something, Let's say we are not so attached to gross things anymore. You don't need to have a Mercedes Benz now. Of course, some people need to have a boat. But we are somewhere on the way. Let's say I don't desire to have a big house, but I desire to have good health. But health is also material desire, isn't it?
Well, if it's for serving Krishna, if you want good health so that you can serve Krishna many more years.
But if you're totally pure, then you don't care which body you want.
I'm not sure.
For healthy food, being healthy, isn't it also?
Yeah, it can be also, but I think we can see so many of our spiritual masters are actually very cautious in what they eat and how they. It's even helping their bhakti. Even eating healthy is even helping your bhakti because your mind is more pure, more clean, and you can. So I think it's not so. Of course, it's still the body. We are soul. We have nothing to do with the body. But that I think when one is in the Uttama level and is just in the Bhava Bhakti or something like this, then yeah. In very high stage, I think it's okay. But I think in our stage, or even we see our gurus who are much higher than us, they are actually understanding this body is Krishna's temple, is my tool that I can serve Krishna. Without this body, how will I serve Krishna? I mean, in the mind one can always, but therefore they take care in that. So it's still quite spiritual, I think. Yeah.
This is the whole point. Are we thinking to keep our health for service or because we don't want to suffer? Is our motivation is probably a little different than our motivation.
Yeah.
just become attached to it and feel better. But at the same time, it's also to not take care. It's also kind of this Krishna's energy, Krishna's gift. So not to take care of this, but it's also kind of offending Krishna's energy, Krishna's gift. And yeah, I do agree also with the fact like if you have a healthy body, you have a healthy mind, and that helps you more to think of Krishna and of this because when the body is not there, I mean, this myself when we had experience also during Corona, we would like to think of Krishna, to chant, to do anything. Others have to serve you also, but we want to serve Krishna, so it's when the body is not there, it's quite also challenging.
Shrutaketi was explaining he was massaging Prabhupada, and when he will massage Prabhupada, Prabhupada will answer mails. And usually the massage will be 1 hour, but sometimes Prabhupada will become so absorbed in his mail that it will go 2 hours, 2 hours and a half. And Shrutaketi was struggling massaging for so long. So usually Prabhupada will say, he will start with the head, and then Prabhupada say, okay, go to the neck, and then he will do the neck. And then, so when it started to stretch too long, Shrutaketi will himself start to move to the other part without Prabhupada saying, thinking, okay, now that's good enough. Then Prabhupada chastises, you move, you go to the other part when I tell you. Say, okay. Okay, but I think it's like you say, it's actually very subtle, very subtle. What is really the motivation? What is often, most of the time, we are not even aware of all what is happening inside of us. And I think even this desire, okay, I take care of my body so that I don't suffer and things like this. It's that will be like a material motivation, but I think they are not so dangerous. I think some are more, like especially the motivation connected to pratishta or being recognized, being worshipped and being appreciated by others and things like this. They are a little bit more dangerous. But I think what we can take is maybe to observe a little bit and from time to time ask ourselves the question: what is my motivation behind? And generally, just by us going through the things, it will get purified anyway. So let's do Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, and all our desire will be fulfilled and desire will be transformed from Sakama to Akama. Thank you. Granatarat Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai.
Saturday, you said, yeah?
Yeah, most probably Saturday morning.
Just, let's see, I will assume so what's happening is my spiritual master.
Yeah.
So, please, yeah.
Okay. You can sell some of this. Let's hope he can come.
Ja.
Yes, sure.
Also, die Parit nicht nehmen.
Nein?
Ich weiß nicht, was in der Birne heißt. Nicht
Aber
nehmen.
das
Bitte kein Aber.
Das kann
Manchmal,
kein Sinn.
manchmal gibt es auch keine Gelande, die Parit haben. Nicht.
Okay.
Das gilt auch für Madame, die guckt schlecht Italienisch.
Ich sehe, wann für eine ganze Woche
Kannst kaum schlafen.
Ja, die David haben wir gedacht.
Petra bleibt da. Ist das klar?
Ja.
Eigentlich ist man. Das ist nur ja. So bin ich schon.
Ich denke, das ist großartig. Das haben wir dann. Das machen wir nicht.
Ja. Wenn die Gelande ist, ist die Petra nicht. Das ist ein nicht immer.
Das war immer so.
Meine Italiener.
Du musst immer etwas wechseln, ne?
Nein. Das ist noch richtig. Aber du kannst mal das Kollektiv fragen, was besser ist. Ja, ich meine. Ein Techtelmechtel. Das muss schon sein. Gut. Zahl, Zahl. Oder verstehst du? Was bist du gemacht? Der kann nicht erkennen. In all diese komischen Dinge.
Manchmal kann sehen, anständig sehen, was ist schön oder was ist nicht schön.
Nee. Und ich sehe das ja.
Das ist nicht. Wirklich nicht.
Akzeptiert, dann machst du voll.
The motivation, what is our heart?
Yeah.
And I think it's not about the external.
Meeting means to somehow come to this point. Yeah. These are three good categories, and of course we can say there are many other categories. Those one are croissants and crows, huh?
Strawberries are nice.
It's okay if I put all those things in the same place.
Yeah, this is not good.
Here I can put also with the other here. Is this? What's that? Ah, this is your seats. Oh. I have a need
This
for.
is not clean. This is not. Those one are completely clean. This is not clean, so you cannot put it together.
So what you do? So you. Devotional service. Devotional service is for everyone at every stage. And whatever situation comes in, devotional service is not elevated and satisfying. And that is such a beautiful devotional service is relevant to everyone at every this is really danger for us. So what can we do? And we have example plants